Well, good evening and welcome to the graduation commencement for the class of 2026. Let's give them another round of applause. And at this time, we ask that you please stand for the national anthem.
Altos, tenor basses, sopranos, high seniors. Yeah, we might have to kind of just go.
Well, hello, everyone. You can have a seat now. Thank you all. I'm Jason McVoy, principal of Oakridge High School and Middle School, and on behalf of our entire staff, I would like to thank you for being here this evening. What a beautiful evening we have, too. In observance of today's ceremony, the senior class has requested we start our program with a prayer. So at this time, please welcome Allison Masterman as she leads us in prayer.
If you would like, please join me in bowing our heads in prayer. Dear Lord, may we leave this chapter of our lives with gratitude for the people who helped shape us. Now we ask you to guide us as each of us will go on to build a life that is uniquely our own. Lord, as we step into adulthood, remind us that every single person here has purpose. Even in moments when we feel small or unseen, let us remember that we are each a necessary piece in the greater puzzle of humanity. And I pray we will all use our individual piece for good. Lord, please give us strength as you lead us through this period of change in our lives. We are all leaving what we have known and grown accustomed to for so long, and with that will come big feelings. Remind us to be grateful we have memories to feel nostalgic over, and guide us to new, better beginnings. And most importantly, teach us to be kind, not only to those who are kind to us, but also to those who challenge us. For life is far too short to only love the people who love us back. Give us the courage to love our enemies, to choose compassion over bitterness, and understanding over division. Thank you, God, for leading us this far together. Now I pray as we all go our separate ways towards individual success, we shall all find true happiness. Amen.
Well, at this time, I would like to next introduce the individuals seated behind the podium. Please stand as you're introduced and remain standing. Our board members, President Doug DeWitt, Vice President Craig Scott, Secretary George Tyndall, Treasurer Tammy Stolberg, Trustee Jeff Cardis, Trustee Krista Richard, and Trustee Brandon Von Donkler. Also our Superintendent, Tom Livesey, and tonight's guest speaker, Mr. Jamie Potts. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Also, a big thank you to our Oakridge staff who took time out of their evening to be here to celebrate our seniors. You've all been a huge part of molding these students into the incredible individuals they are today. I'd also like to thank the top students from our junior class serving as our honor guard, seated in the back, for assisting with today's ceremonies. Let's give both of these groups a fine round of applause. We'd also like to mention tonight that Geskus Photography will be here taking a 5x7 photo of each graduate today, courtesy of the Oakridge School Board. It will be mailed to your home as soon as it's ready, and also a video of today's ceremony will be posted on our high school website and Facebook page. For picture taking, we also ask that you stay where you're seated during the ceremony. Parents, guests, and friends are invited to meet your graduate in the parking lot following the ceremony. This year's salutatorian, Cole Posthumus, will now give his salutatorious speech. Cole.
Yo, good evening. Before I begin, I would like to thank the teachers and staff that allowed us to get here today. Without them and their encouragement, I doubt we would be half the people we are today. And congratulations to the graduating class. All of us have achieved something worthy to be proud of. We finally made it here. It is strange to think that this is the end of our time here. We have spent so much of our life here, it is hard to imagine being anywhere else. Despite the uncertainty in most of our hearts, I am positive we will be capable of adapting to whatever comes next. Over these past few years, all of us have changed in ways we probably didn't even notice at first. We had overcome the obstacles in our lives, and in doing so, we learned to accept disappointment and to have the tenacity to move forward. I know these words sound rich coming from me. I am probably the laziest person in the class, and yet accepting my shortcomings allows me to grow. Speaking and sharing my thoughts has always been difficult for me. Giving a speech is definitely outside my comfort zone, and yet one has to challenge themselves in order to grow. All of us will have to do things that we don't think we are capable of. Avoiding it will only make the prospect more intimidating. What matters is that we made it here together. Every person sitting here today has their own story, building with their own struggles and their own goals for the future. All of us have different plans for the future, whether we are going to college or are starting work. What matters is that this chapter of our lives will always connect us. Congratulations to the graduating class. Thank you.
Thank you, Cole. Well, all of us in the school community are proud to have our students go into their lives and become successful. One of the traditions over the years has been to invite a former graduate of Oakridge High School who has become successful in their chosen profession to be our graduation speaker. Today's speaker certainly meets that criteria. He was a 2011 graduate of Oakridge High School, finishing 5th in his class with a 4.1 GPA. He was a 3-sport athlete, excelling in football, basketball, and baseball. After graduation, he went on to be a rare 2-sport athlete at Grand Valley State University, where he's listed in the record books for both football and baseball. From there, he went on to be drafted by the Texas Rangers, and after his time with the Rangers, he also spent 2 years playing for the Muskegon Ironman football team. Over the years, he's transferred that hard work and professional success from the classroom and athletic field to his personal, professional, and personal family life. In 2020, he also welcomed his daughter, Brooklyn, and has excelled in his chosen career path. With this background, it's fitting that he's now helping heal feet, ankles, and other joints as a highly successful medical device salesperson and trainer. I know I'm going to mess this one up, Jamie, so you can tell me later. DePoy Sense, a company of Johnson & Johnson. A large part of his current position is spending time in the operating room providing technical expertise to the surgeons and staff on how to properly and effectively use their implants and instruments to complete surgeries and make sure everything's working correctly. Finally, he's the son of Tom and Kathy Potts and a true leader in both words and actions who makes everyone around him better. Please join me in extending a huge welcome to an exemplary graduate of Oakridge High School, Mr. Jamie Potts.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody. It's been 15 years since I've been here. My name is Jamie Potts, and I'm a proud 2011 graduate of Oakridge High School. Graduating from Oakridge was such an incredible experience in my life, and even though I went on to do bigger and better things, I will always be an Oakridge graduate at heart. I want to share a few values with you that I try to live my life by that I've found to be helpful. My first value is self-determination. I was incredibly blessed with the birth of my daughter, Brooklyn Juliet, in December of 2020, 9 months into the COVID pandemic. Just 1 year later, I was let go from my job. At that point, I was with my company for over 6 years. I started as a 23-year-old associate, moved on to a clinical specialist, ended up managing all of Southwest Michigan for the surgical company that I worked for. Then suddenly, everything changed, and I found myself jobless with a 1-year-old daughter to provide for. Coming out of a pandemic when most companies were struggling just to get back to normal, let alone hiring, I was tempted to blame my management or the company, but honestly, in that moment, I felt embarrassed and I felt scared. For the first time in years, I didn't know what came next. I had a daughter depending on me, bills to pay, and no clear direction forward. But adversity has a way of revealing strengths that you didn't know you had. I realized I had two choices. I could let this setback define my life, or I could define my life by this setback. I chose to keep moving forward. Eventually, that led me to a new opportunity with a larger company and a new chapter in my life. Looking back, losing that job wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of a chapter I never knew I needed. My second value is compassion. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. That's something you should always live your life by. It's too easy to judge people for how they dress, how they talk, or how they act. But as you go through life, I promise you this, you'll begin to understand just how challenging life can be. It may seem like other people have a head start, like the keys to a perfect life were just handed to them. But trust me when I tell you this, life has a way of challenging and humbling every single one of us. There are times in our lives that we find ourselves struggling, and whether our struggles are easily seen or invisible to the world, an encouraging word and taking the time to listen can make a huge difference. Compassion is one of the best gifts we can give another human being, and one of the best gifts we can give ourselves. My third value is gratitude. One thing life has taught me is that success means very little if you don't stop to appreciate what you have. When I was younger, I thought that happiness came from achievements, winning games, making more money, getting promoted. Over time, though, I realized that the most important things in life never show up on a resume, a stat sheet, or a bank statement. The moments you will truly remember and appreciate are the late-night conversations with friends, with family, and the people who stand beside you through hard times when nobody else believed in you. One day, you'll realize the moments you took for granted were actually some of the best moments of your life. So celebrate your wins, chase your goals, and work harder than the day before. But don't forget to appreciate the people that helped you along the way. I'd like to leave you all with a quote from the man who this field is named after, Coach Jack Sugars. He was a huge part of my life, and I called him to ask him for a quote. This is what he said: "To achieve your dreams, you must always clearly imagine, heartily desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act to make those dreams reality." Congratulations to the class of 2026. Thank you.
At this time, I'm pleased to announce the Oakridge Choir, under the direction of Mr. David Abdicator, will now sing "Remember Me" by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. Sing a sacred song to you each night we are apart.
Thank you, Mr. Abdicator and the choir. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you who are graduating today. You can be very proud of your accomplishment. I'd also like to recognize the parents and families of today's graduates. I know that without your guidance and support, this honor would not be possible. The class of 2026 has been special in many ways. This class has had exceptional success in the classroom, enjoyed many victories on our field of play, And to date, the class of 2026 has been awarded $1.5 million in scholarships. Yeah, let's give that a round of applause. They've had outstanding projects through our National Honor Society, our Student Council, various arts programs, and many athletic team successes are just a few examples of the exemplary work ethic of this class. And at this time, I'd like to acknowledge the achievements of our salutatorian and valedictorian. Come on up to present them their honors cords. Representing the class of 2026 with a grade point average of 4.207 is our salutatorian, Cole Posthumus. Cole is the son of Kirsten and Jason Posthumus, and Cole's future plans includes attending the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, while he will be studying to become a lawyer. Cole? Our 2026 valedictorian is Christopher Newman. He's graduating with a GPA of 4.087. Chris is the son of Carl Newman and Lindsay Nunez. He's attended the Graphic Production Technology program at Muskegon Career Tech Center for the past 2 years, and Chris took 5th place in regionals and received an honorable mention at state for the Graphic Art Division for the annual MITES competition in 2025. His future plans include utilizing the Muskegon Promise to attend MCC this fall, where he will work towards a degree in science and arts. Yep. There are many other students who have qualified for awards this year. They were acknowledged in our senior awards ceremony held 2 weeks ago. Tonight, the top 10 will again be acknowledged during the presentation of diplomas. The confirmed future plans of this year's senior class of 2026 are 40 are entering a 2-year college, 15 are entering a 2-year college with plans to transfer to a university to complete their bachelor's degree, 13 are planning to enter a 4-year college or university, 4 are in their 2nd year of early college, 10 entering the workforce, 3 have been listed in the U.S. military, 10 are entering a technical or trade school, 7 are entering an apprenticeship program, and 6 are foreign exchange students returning home. At this time, I would like to have the following students please stand: Colton Alexander, Hazel Slocum, and Mark Stewart. Colton Alexander is enlisted in the U.S. Army, Hazel Slocum has enlisted in the U.S. Navy, and Mark Stewart has enlisted in the U.S. Army. In appreciation for their commitment to our country, let's give them a huge round of applause. Next, our Oakridge Band and Choir, under the direction of Sam Matson and David Abdicator, will be performing our alma mater, Eagle Pride, composed by Lisa Laniga and arranged by Brennan Jepson, Sarah Eldred, and David Abdicator. Following the alma mater, the band will play Thawing by Kazuki Shimoda under the direction of Samuel Matson.
Above the ground.
Our valedictorian, Christopher Newman, will address us at this time. Christopher?
Good evening, everybody. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not the best at public speaking, like at all. And this is by far the biggest group of people that I've ever had to speak in front of. Plus, I'm sure most of you just want to get your diploma and get out of here, so I'll try to keep it short. It's probably not going to be the best speech you ever heard, but it's probably going to be one of the last ones you hear that wasn't AI generated. So that's applause, right? All right, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody in the audience. Of course, I'd like to thank my family for their contributions to my life, but I'd also like to thank all the other families. If you're out in the audience, then there's a good chance that you contributed to the life of one of the graduates out here in some way. So I'd like to thank you for that. I'd also like to thank the teachers, because without all of you, we wouldn't be where we are today. I'd specifically like to thank Mr. Eisner, because he's always been pretty fond of my sarcastic tone, so I tried to include that in this. I don't have time to specifically thank all the teachers that have had an impact on me, but just know that I'm thankful for all of you. Now, I wasn't really sure what to talk about today, and I knew no matter what, it was probably going to sound cliche no matter what I talked about. So how about I just say, congratulations. We finally did it. We finally accomplished something that we've been working well over half our lives to achieve. And pretty much everybody here, well, except for Jack, will be walking away with their diploma today. So that's definitely something to celebrate. I just hope you didn't bring any balloons to the celebration unless you plan on partaking in community service. However, I'll be far from the first person to tell you that this is the only beginning of the journeys. Many of us have college to look forward to right after this, or maybe some new career opportunities, or maybe it's actually a bit of a gray area. But regardless of where your future is heading, one thing we all have in common is we have our adult lives waiting for us and all the absolute wonders that come with being an adult. Remember how I said this speech was going to sound cliche no matter what I talk about? Well, here's what might be the most cliche part of a valedictorian speech, the part that's supposed to sound inspirational. I'm not going to bore you with a 10-minute spiel or anything, but I am still going to bore you with one piece of advice. We obviously all have very different goals and different paths ahead of us, but regardless, there's one thing that we all need to do if we want to reach those goals. We need to put in the effort. Unfortunately, that saying, nothing is free in this world, couldn't be any closer to the truth. As nice as it would be, the dreams we are chasing aren't just going to be handed to us. There's a lot of effort that each of us has to put in if we want to reach that point. I think everybody in here knows what senioritis is, and although I can't speak for anybody else, I know that it definitely hit me pretty hard, especially toward the end of this school year. I didn't even start writing this speech until last week Thursday, if that tells you anything. Regardless of if you were a slacker like me or not, my advice would be to not let that mentality follow you into your future. I truly believe that everybody here has the capability to accomplish whatever your dream may be, even if you think it's going to be extremely difficult. You can accomplish anything as long as you're willing to put in the work to achieve it. I'm sure most of you will forget nearly everything I've said once you walk out of here, but if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this. In the end, everything we have to show for ourselves is a reflection of how hard we were willing to work to get there. However, the end only comes along when we stop trying. So in the end, it does really matter. So put in the effort and you'll end up with something to be proud of. I couldn't have a speech without including some kind of quote. So I'd like to wrap this up with a quote from a friend of mine from the class of 2024, Lucas Bevins. Rest in peace. Life is a game, just find the right ending. To add to that, the right ending might be difficult to reach, but if you can push through all the challenges thrown at you, you'll reach the ending you desire. Speaking of endings, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm finally done talking. Congratulations, class of 2026. Maybe one day our paths will cross again, but either way, I wish you all the best in everything you set out to do. And don't forget, seniors rule.
Thank you, Chris. And now Mr. Tom Livesey, our Superintendent of Schools, will certify the graduates of 2026.
All right, that's a tough act to follow right there, but I still got to say a few things here. So I'm going to steal a few of his words because I want to say thank you too. It's awesome to have a strong showing here with the numbers of the community members that are here to support our graduates. Families, friends, and as well as our employees. These are the people that are here to support you. It's an awesome, momentous occasion for all of us. Graduates, you clean up well. I love your caps and gowns. You look ready for your next step in life, whether it be the military or the many pathways of post-secondary education that I've heard many of you are going, or going straight to the workforce. It was your grit, your persistence, and your resilience that has earned you your Oakridge High School diploma. And I congratulate you, along with everybody else here, for this accomplishment. So while this moment is your moment, I'm going to offer you one tiny piece of advice. No matter how successful you are, I'll pause there to let you guys recover from that. I wish that was sarcastic, but I just misspoke. No matter how successful you are or how successful you become, pause. Pause to reflect and express the value that Mr. Potts shared earlier, gratitude, to those special people in your life that contributed to your success. If everybody took that time to express true gratitude for the good things others do for them, this world would be a much better place. So you won't remember much more other than what I said earlier if I keep talking. So I'm going to end with just two words, and I'll end with what I began. And those two words are, be thankful. So let's certify these diplomas. Mr. Board President Doug DeWitt and members of the Board of Education, I do hereby affirm and attest that the students seated before you this evening have met the requirements as set forth by the Board of Education and the state of Michigan. Having met those requirements, these graduates are now entitled to receive their Oakridge Public Schools high school diploma. Let's all congratulate the class of 2026.
All right, the moment we have all been waiting for. At this time, the class of 2026 will receive their diplomas, and our junior class honor guard will be assisting in the presentation of diplomas to the graduating class of 2026. Please hold your applause until all names are called, and let us begin with this year's top 10. Christopher Newman, valedictorian, summa cum laude, Lieutenant Colonel Glockson Valedictorian Scholarship, and the Muskegon Promise Scholarship. Cole Posthumous, Salutatorian, Summa Cum Laude, Lieutenant Colonel Glockson Salutatorian Scholarship. Dylan Cunningham, Summa Cum Laude, Muskegon Promise Scholarship, Oakridge Alumni Scholarship, and the Raymond and Teresa Cole Scholarship. Connor Bruce, Summa Cum Laude, and Old Dominion Scholarship. Olivia Rivenbart, Summa Cum Laude, National Art Honor Society, and Muskegon Promise Scholarship. Jonathan Ross, summa cum laude, Muskegon Community College early college student. Allison Masterman, summa cum laude, National Art Honor Society, Michigan Achievement Scholarship, Scholastic Art Gold Key Scholarship, and the Benton Auto Student Art Exhibit Scholarship. Kirk Smith, summa cum laude. Athena Way, summa cum laude, Muskegon Promise Scholarship. Quetzale Perez, summa cum laude, Michigan Seal of Biliteracy, and the Alice May Scholarship, Muskegon Teachers Club Scholarship.
Colton Alexander. That mic's. Blake Alvarez. Alize Ames. Drew Babinick. Claudia Bazette. Kendall Benson. Carl Blessing Corey. Courtney Bowen. And Mariana Bowen.
Andrea Cavagnoli. Attaboy, Day Day. Drake Chase. Christian Crawford. Anna Cuellar. Jaden Daly. Serena Decker. Ashlyn Duzin. Corbin Enan. Faith English.
Lanil Azel. Alexis Fisk. Savannah Foster. Margarita Fravia. Trent Galdine. Jessa Green. Cambria Genhart. Jordan Guerrero McGrady. Alexia Handley.
Jason Hanlon. Mercedes Hilton. Leah Hausman. Cody Humphrey. Logan Houston. Alexa Johnson. Carter Jusela. Elena Campe.
Jenna Keith. Brett Kroll Jr. Kaylin Kruger. Asher Luft. Kaylee Martin. Angel Martinez. Caden McDermott. Dallas Myers. Gavin Mikoslovic.
Lawson Miller. Taylor Mashevsky. Rayana Morris. Elba Navarro Azcaraga. Trevor Ozinski. Roderick Parks Jr. Caden Pickard. Cassina Potter.
Marwin Persongdi. Ayana Pruitt. Lincoln Prize. Lindsay Ratter. Hayden Redder. Emma Rose. Cora Roussel. Maya Sattler. Addison Schmitz.
Destiny Simila Moreno. Preston Six. Willow Six. Hazel Slocum. Madeline Smith. Landon Southard. Paulina Stappen. Mark Stewart.
Alyssa Stone. Derek Stork. Joshua Tyndall. Alexa Toringa. Brianna Twining. Cameron Yule. Isaac Utzinger. Ariana Vasquez.
Landon Veldman. Caleb Watson. Elena Weiss. Isabella Whalen. Caden White. Mason Williamson. Parker Williamson. Miley Wood.
All right, the final moment that you've all been waiting for. Lawson Miller, come on up. Lawson will now lead the class of 2026 in the traditional changing of the tassel. Yeah, pause and chase. Yep, thank you. That's the last one right there. Yep. Yes. Everyone rise. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2026, our newest alumni. Graduates, please meet your families in the grassy area outside the gym and baseball field for photos with family and friends. Thank you for coming, everyone.